Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item 24, resolution to join the Ready for 100 program and establish clean energy targets.
As directed by the Commission, this resolution directs the county to create certain clean energy targets and utilize renewable, zero-emission, clean energy consumption goals by the following years: 50% for countywide operations by 2030 and 100% for county operations by 2040. The county departments are incorporating green energy targets or clean energy targets into their planning process, taking policy and proactive measures to reach those goals. And as you know, we'll be presenting a sustainability action plan in the near future. So this the program is your effort and direction to keep direct that into our internal operations here within Pinellas County.
Yeah, Commissioner Long.
I got stuck on that comment you made, Barry, about our plan in the near future. What does that near future mean to you?
June. So we'll have so we presented our initial sustainability action and resiliency plan to you that set out our clear goals and objectives. They've been working on specific targets and timeline for implementation of those programs, and that's scheduled to come to you in June of this next year with each action item and the timeline for implementation. Some of those we've already done. So for instance, we implemented or we brought to you the our fuel program. Well, that had electrifying our fleet within 5 years to 10 years. And so it already initiated specific actions. So there's some areas we have that, but our entire action plan will be by June of next year.
And so then, if I may follow up, Mr. Chair, so then in June, we get the action plan, and then as we move forward and things actually happen and goals are met, you'll give us updates?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yeah. Go ahead, Barry. Okay. Any questions? I know we have quite a few folks to hear from. I sent everybody yesterday an email just with a couple of comments that I wanted to add. First of all, I wanted to thank a couple folks that have spent time with me this past year and were just, really instrumental in just conversing and discussing and just talking about the program. And so I just really wanted to say thank you to them. And at the same time, some of the thoughts and comments that I had were just that this is an aspirational document that we're putting together for our community, for our organization, for our community, and I certainly appreciate that. And I just wanted to ask for an indulgence because it is aspirational. I think it also needs to be grounded in some reality language that talks about some challenges that we're going to have along the way, and that we need to be open-minded to recognizing the issues in transition. I call it transition because whether it's from now to 5 years from now, or now for 10 years from now, or now 20 years from now, who would have imagined 5, 10 years ago? And I'm sure there's some that are far better forward thinkers than me that had Detroit changing the way that they deliver products, and now we're moving to a lot of more electric cars, hybrid cars, et cetera. And that's going to happen in record numbers, and it's market driven for the most part. And these, as they produce more, the cost of those automobiles comes down. So two things that I wanted to look at. Number one, under item section 3, which is, it is further the goal and policy of the board that 100% of all electricity consumed countywide be clean energy by 2050. And just a question about policy, I'm fine with the goal. For me, it's just a policy is not an ordinance. I understand that, but I want to make sure that I'm comfortable that policy is not a mandate for anybody to do anything, that it definitely needs to be a market-driven thing. So that's the first thing. The second was perhaps your indulgence in adding section 9 to this. And it really surrounds 3 distinct thoughts. And I'm not, obviously a great writer, but I just wanted to put this for your consideration, that the board recognizes that all countries, including China and Russia, must be included for significant improvements to be realized. And further recognizes that many communities will be negatively affected as energy types transition away from coal, oil, and gas, and thus should be made eligible for generational job creation and community revitalization. And further recognizes that any energy transition be accompanied by understanding that both access to low-cost energy and preservation of national security be maintained. Don't think this is anything dramatic. I think it's obvious. But again, in any aspirational document, I think it's a good idea to recognize that there are things that we should be aware of. And because we don't control a lot of the things that are in this document as far as national policies and that kind of thing, I think it's important for us to at least recognize that there are communities that have carried the burden for decades and decades to bring us electricity to our homes, whether it's coal, gas, and many of those communities are going through difficult times. So I want that to be recognized, and that was the reason for this. And also to make sure that as we do this, that we're not going to be experiencing $5 a gallon gasoline before it's time, so that we do it transition properly and do it right, that we do it so that everybody can participate in using automobiles around our community, and as well as it relates to national security. So that's all I had. I just wanted to add that, basically that paragraph, and then possibly take out the word policy in section 3, and those were my comments. So with that said, I'm not getting a whole lot of conversation right now, so we'll go ahead and open it up to our folks that are here today to